All right, everyone, we have Scandal on Code Red here with Actblue. I'm getting conflicting reports on some of the details of this, link in the description, archived, of course. Actblue appears to be melting down. Things could not get worse for the left-wing movement in the United States if Actblue gets hammered. Actblue has been the biggest bundler for the DNC for a long time. If you remember reporting on that, god damn, a decade ago or something like that. Most of the candidates that they support, most of the causes that they support are left-leaning slash uniparty liberal, with a handful of neocon conservatives sprinkled in. ActBlue has been a bundler to the tune of billions and billions of dollars over time. New report is that they're being investigated for money laundering, effectively, and possibly embezzlement and other things. So, if Doge goes through their records, can you imagine what you would find out? I think the American people would be shocked, actually, if they knew the truth about that kind of money bundling. What you do is you can only donate so much to a specific political candidate, but you can canvass for them locally and regionally by using a third party to gather funds. ActBlue is one of the big ones. The Republicans, by the way, do this too. I'm not saying that this is just limited to the liberals or to the Democrats. The Republicans do it too. 7 of their top officials have resigned in recent days. And I find the timing very coincidental. Let's see. An investigation is opened into your bundling firm for potential money laundering and for potential fraud and things of that nature. All of a sudden, your top officials are all leaving. This is coincidental, by the way. They just chose to take the money and run. They're going to retire to the Caribbean or something like that. It's not coincidental. They're absolutely linked together. This sort of thing can never be coincidental. They're melting down as a bundling firm. And the problem for the Democrats is that they are the top dispenser of money in politics in the United States. Again, we're talking many billions of dollars. If you lose that money, it's going to be real hard for you to continue as a political party, actually. And I saw a separate report, and I can't verify this particular claim, so this is just scuttlebutt. I saw a separate report that's been talked about by some people on Twitter and on other social media that the small donations have dried up almost completely to ActBlue. That is, they're just getting the corporate cash at this point, and maybe not even all of that. If I had a business and I was sending millions to ActBlue and having them bundle it for various purposes, I'd be shitting my pants right now because I might get logged up in this particular investigation. And we know that there's corruption within politics, especially ever since Citizens United, which should be ended completely, by the way. Corporations are not people, my friend. Mitt Romney is wrong. I believe that the system for political donation should be as follows. Individuals can donate up to a certain arbitrary level to individual candidates and to state and local parties, etc. Businesses also have a capped limit of how much they can spend per race. And everything should be completely transparent. Everyone should know exactly how much was donated. Like when I donated to the Trump campaign, it appears on the official docket. Tarl Warwick donated $100 to the Trump campaign, and I did on 2 different occasions. Everyone knows that I donated that money. Why should we not have more publicly available disclosure for firms like this? Well, that's because they're breaking the law, probably. Otherwise, you wouldn't have officials fleeing the firm, pertinent to an investigation into alleged fraud and abuse. There would be no other reason for them to bother leaving their otherwise very lucrative positions. Ensure that they get paid fairly well. They don't want the public looking into who is paid what, because we might find that there's criminality involved. And they don't want the public looking into that. Of course not. Why would why would they want that? Of course, you've had plenty of attempted attacks on, for instance, the Trump campaign, the RNC, and so forth by the Biden administration. And so some liberals are complaining, well, you're going after Act Blue because you don't want the Democrats to get any money. They're just investigating the same as the Biden administration did. It's the same thing now, isn't it? I always heard from authoritarians, if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear. Let us rummage through your trash and so forth. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander now, isn't it? And definitely the Democratic Party is the goose. It's getting fucked in the ass. Gooses, of course, have a vent. It's sort of a vagina and asshole at the same time. So geese are kind of strange. Birds are a little bit weird in their evolutionary design. Doesn't really make sense. You shit out the same hole that you get fucked in. Okay, well, that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, ActBlue is melting down, and its senior employees are leaving, are resigning, because they're afraid. They don't want to get caught up in this network. They think by resigning, of course, they'll escape justice potentially. Now, some of these people might be resigning because they saw the writing on the wall and they said, oh shit, I'm working for a company that is breaking the law. That's not a good look. Maybe I need to find another line of work. Maybe they did nothing wrong. It's entirely possible. I'm not going to crucify the people that are resigning and assume their guilt because I just don't do that. But Act Blue seems to be collectively guilty of wrongdoing. And so there's an investigation into what exactly was going on there. And now they're having a nervous breakdown, which I find hysterical. Couldn't come at a worse time, by the way, for the left and for the liberal movement in general because they could really use the money. You have numerous state Democratic attaches that are effectively broke at the moment. Think Michigan, Pennsylvania, a few others. They don't have any money. They're probably paying their employees with monopoly money at this point in some of these states. They're fundamentally broke. How can you take in 3 times more money than the opposing campaign just at the federal level, by the way, and in many cases at the state level, and somehow squander it all and become broke? How is that even possible? We're talking about several billion dollars, billion with a B, not million, billion. That's how much elections cost these days at the federal level. You see people spending tens of millions of dollars minimum just to get a Senate slot, and many millions to get a representative slot. Occasionally, you get the odd maverick that's just running, the weird ass campaign and gets elected for $10, but it's not exactly common. Even like the Vermont gubernatorial race, I think millions and millions of dollars were spent on that. We're a state with less than 1 million people in it. We got like a population of 600,000 people or something like that. You're still spending millions of dollars in order to get the gubernatorial slot. Um, and then that's a local, largely meaningless race, by the way. Nobody even knows where Vermont is on a map. So yeah, Act Blue is completely melting down at the moment. Investigation ongoing. Hopefully we get disclosure on what the hell was happening because doesn't really look good for them legally. That's about all. Peace out.